All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel, man. Thank you for everybody tuning in once again. We do have a fresh video here for today. Today we are driving around in a Camaro ZL1 1LE. Now, my friend Danny, who is a local guy here for us, is luckily giving me an opportunity to drive this car around. He's actually the same owner as the blue Final Edition Evo that we've been working on multiple times here. You've seen on the channel a whole bunch. This car made 581 wheel horsepower on the stock motor. Spoiled brat, man, went out and bought a freaking fresh 2018 ZL1. So I'm really excited today. He's gonna give me the keys. I'm gonna get to rip this around. Let's go ahead and look at the interior, exterior, and then we'll get that done. My God, dude, look at this thing, bro. This is ridiculous, man. Such a good looking car, absolutely gorgeous. This wing, which I didn't know if I loved, I freaking love it, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous looking. Full carbon fiber gloss on here. It does have active exhaust, which you guys will hear in a second here. Has the 4 pistons in the back, 6 piston brakes, Brimbos in the front over here. Again, the car as a whole is absolutely ridiculous, and thank God they did not go to that disgusting front end they do with the other Camaros. Remember how they changed them to that ridiculous front end? ZL1 specifically, they kept this same super aggressive look. Let's go ahead and check the interior. All right, into the interior, guys. For starters, look at how beautiful this dash is with this awesome carbon fiber piece that goes all the way across it. You have your display here with every option that you can get just like normal. I mean, you got valet mode, you got all your stuff here, navigation, everything. The dash, I'm really glad they stuck with this, guys. They did the analog sticks here, but they still have some digital on there as well with your boost there, oil pressure, all that good stuff. And you can change all the different types of features with that. On top of the really cool dash, you also have a really disgusting interior, man. These are the ZL1 Recaro seats here, the leather suede, red stitching matched up. They're full electric, absolutely ridiculous. The leg space, by the way, guys, for the back seats, despite their nice back seats, I would say it's about the same as the Nissan GTRs if you guys ever seen those in the back. Cool feature I'm looking forward to actually looking at is this heads-up display button right here, what actually projects an image onto the actual windscreen right here, so you don't have to look down as you're going with mile per hour and everything like that. You can go down and have some options over here to go modes here, and as you guys can see, it does have an active exhaust, so you can open it. Right now we are on Sport. Let me see. Yep, there's a Tour, there's a Sport, there's an Ice on the bottom, and we're gonna go to track mode, so I can actually hear the tone of the exhaust change right there. Let's jump in the back and let's get some revs out of this piece and see what it sounds like with the track open. All right, guys, and to go ahead and check out the heart here. This is the LT4, the same 6.2 liter supercharged 650 horsepower engine that comes in the Corvette Z06 C7. This thing's 650 horsepower, 650 pounds of torque, I believe. This thing is an absolute monster. Again, as I said a second ago, this plane is a lot of modifications getting done to this car, so we're gonna see lots of power coming out of this thing. But this is the base, this is where we start. All right, guys, and this is to open up the trunk and check out the actual space in the back here. As you guys can see, he does have a bunch of stuff stored in here already, but it actually goes decently deep over here. The actual opening is not that big, but it's decent amount of space you can actually put in here. I mean, he even had a car seat in here before I took out just to show you guys a visual of how deep that thing goes, but it definitely carries a decent amount for what it is. Guys, and that revving wasn't as awesome as I thought it was going to be, and must have some type of capability that restricts it because it only went up to 4,000 RPMs on that. I did have it in its track mode, so the valves were open. It does sound really good like that, and I can't wait until some modifications get done because he is planning on doing some headers, intake, a whole bunch of other things on this car, so the sound will definitely improve, and you'll be seeing the side-by-side comparison of that in the short future here. But for today, I will take it, man. That's what it sounds like. It does sound really good, and I'm really excited to get in this car and rip it around, so let's go ahead and get that done. All right, let's go ahead and get this Rippins review going with this car, guys. So blessed to be in this ZL1 right now and able to rip it around. I'm so excited. It's a 6-speed manual as well. I know the new autos are super fast, just like the Mustangs and some other cars have those 10-speed autos, but manual, I'm super pumped up, guys. Has active rev matching on this thing, that heads-up display to project about 6 feet out my RPM or my speed up there. The interior is absolutely disgusting, as we've already shown here with the Alcantara and the red stitching and the carbon fiber across the dash, interior, exterior, all those aero pieces, phenomenal, guys. So we're gonna see right now how this car drives all day, all the way through. It does have everything you could think of. All the bells and whistles are here, and despite this is the track edition style ZL1. It has all your navigation and your cruise control and everything else you could think of. We're blasting the AC right now. AC control is pretty cool. On the actual vents, it is dual climate control, so you can actually separate, you know, just like a lot of cars have, what side, if you want hot or cold on either side, and you actually spin the actual vent left to right to make it hotter or colder. So that's kind of a little cool feature. Also has in these beautiful Recaro seats that are suede and leather or whatever, it has AC seated seats in these and heat. So it has both options. Like I said, all the new bells and whistles, this is 2018, are in this car, plus the track inspired everything behind it. So we'll go ahead and reach down here. We'll go ahead and pop our traction control off and hopefully don't hit a wall. And we'll also go ahead and go to our modes, and there is Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and then Track. So we'll go to Track, which will open up the active exhaust as much as possible, and I believe it dampens the suspension a little bit to make it more track inspired and ready, guys. So let's get it. I may have said this already, guys, but right out the gate, as soon as you start driving this, the first thing I'm gonna say is these seats are ridiculous comfortable, man. Oh my God. I mean, for being a race-inspired car, these seats are so cushy and comfortable. Recaro, you guys did a phenomenal job on the ZL1 seats. Speaking of features, guys, like I said, this has the active rev control and all that good stuff. The heads-up display, which is really cool. It's the first car I've actually been able to see this on. It also has all your regular stuff, like it has the warning on the little side markers here for cars next to you. So all those features and comforts are still in this car, just like normal. And if you buy it from the factory, of course, it still has a warranty and everything. So you're getting a 650 horsepower car with full warranty and everything good to go, and you shouldn't have any fears of getting it. Oh yeah, an instant torque, man. That supercharger immediately starts small whining. It does have a stock intake on there, so you can barely hear the whine of the supercharger, but that torque is there, and you do hear it, like I said, a little bit. Exhaust sounds really great too. Back at the house, if you guys didn't see, we did give some revs to it. It is RPM limited on this stock computer. I only bring up to 4,000 RPM, as opposed to the 6.5, which is the red line on there. So you can't be a parking lot hero with this piece. Potentially in the future you would be after getting a tune. I'd imagine with the tuner going in there and being able to adjust everything, they'll actually be able to maybe take away that rev limit in the neutral position, but regardless, sounds super great. Oh yeah, oh my God, getting it, man. Woo. Super responsive. Oh my God, going from a big turbo car into this car, holy cow, what a difference. My car, I have raced a Z06 C7 in the past, guys, and I did gap it a couple times, multiple times. Not bragging about that, just stating that, like, my car I know is a slight bit faster than this car that has the same engine, and I think weighs more than the Corvette does. So I think that I'll most likely get it when we eventually do race in this car. But regardless, the power response is amazing, dude, because the supercharger, that torque, that power is instantly there the whole time, no matter what RPM, all the way through the top, opposed to big turbos where you're at low power and it's continually gaining power into the top of your red line. This thing is just through and through all day, ready to go. may be thinking, Jared, you are an Evo owner for over 5 years. You are doing it. You got a decent amount of power. What's it like? What's the comparison? How would you compare these, and which one would you drive all the time? The short answer to that is the Evo. My car, when you first get them, they're not really amped. Oh man, I see a regular ZL1 dude, but no 1LE, and he's staring at me. Of course you are, dude. You're driving some bum-ass ZL1 with no 1LE package. Loser, dude. That's a lady. Okay, I'm calling ladies losers out here. Anyways, so to compare those cars, man, and compare the Evo to this car, I think I would daily drive my Evo more. I obviously have a soft spot right here in my heart for my specific car and all the work and everything I've put into it. They're very similar power, but and that being said, I think I'll drive my car more. Not for comfortability, not for anything else. I just like the raw power of my car. This car is really smooth and awesome all the way through every RPM you go through, but I like the big turbos. I like that big kick. I like the lag and then bring it up in high RPM, and 5,000, you hammer that thing, bring it to 8, and it is constantly gaining power all the way to the top, and it really punches on you. This thing punches you as far as torque goes. As soon as you hit it, it's torquey, and then it kind of just, it doesn't plateau its power, it maintains its power, but it's not gaining like the Evo does. It's just really way two different feels. This is very beastly feeling, and the Evo is kind of raw, if you could, if those are good words to compare those. Interior space in this car, okay? I do have a comparison because I just drove my buddy's twin turbo Viper, the 5th gen. Amazing car. Interior, very small. The vision, which I probably mentioned, is not very big. It's like half of this friggin' windshield even. The vision's very small in the Viper, and you're a little more tucked in and cubby, and you don't have as many cubby spots to put your stuff. This does have the back seats, as you guys have seen already, but again, this is just like the GTR back seats, where it's like maybe some little kids can fit back there, or some adults could really cram in there. It's there, that's cool that you have 4 seats just in case, but nothing that you'd want to travel a far distance in with your head in the back seat on the top of the roof and your legs crammed in there. That being said though, comparing it to, let's say, like I said, well, the Corvette, and let's also compare it to the Dodge Viper, this has more room in it. It's a little more spacious. I have a little more head space right here. It's definitely cushier than the Viper, but again, the Viper is a whole different animal of a kind. Dude, I love it, man. I love the instant torque. I love the immediate response. I just had to get over. I don't even look at what RPM I'm at. I just barely touch the throttle, and we're 20 mile per hour up, and we can just do whatever we want in this car, man. This thing is super awesome. All right, guys, driving around, I did find my favorite feature, all right? So the rev matching, super dope for starters, okay? Rev matching I haven't had before. You guys are probably laughing at me if you do have rev matching on your car. It is such a cool feature though, man, where it matches your exact RPM as you downshift. As soon as you touch the gear, it instantly brings it up to the perfect RPM to make no kick or anything, and you don't have to, you know, flutter your foot a little bit to make a nice even transition. It's really smooth. That is not my favorite feature though, man. The favorite feature so far is something I mentioned already, but now driving with it is amazing, is that heads-up display, man. From the 90s, guys, we got heads-up displays going down. This thing is so cool. I thought the projection from the dash right here was gonna project on the screen, or project on the windshield right here like a foot in front of me, but it doesn't. It actually projects it like 6 feet out. At the end of the hood is showing all of my speed and everything. It's really weird that they even make that happen, but it's such a cool feature, so you don't be having to look down. And so a quick size comparison, guys. This car is known for its blind spots in the back and the sides and all that stuff. I actually am not complaining. It's not horrible. I know it is what it is, so you got to be a little more cautious, but with a car with such a humongous front end and a special edition one like this, I mean, you're super cautious anyways. And again, you have your little blinkers on the side to tell you if there's a car next to you, so some features have been added to make it a little safer. Yeah, it's a little blind spotty, but nothing that I would complain about or not want to get the car because of that. Just shifting through the gears, guys, it is really nice, man. Really nice and smooth. The clutch is hardly heavier than my clutch in my Evo even, and I have that stock clutch setup still in there. Of course, this is a stock clutch, but being something more torquey, you think maybe it's a little grabbier. It is a slight bit, but nothing that I would even complain about. This is a very drivable car that mom could get in and drive this thing up and down the road and not know the difference until she fully floors it. Yes, that was it, man. There was a little rip around in the ZL1 Camaro. Again, guys, we are racing with the Evo and the ZL1 very soon here to see a side-by-side comparison to give you guys a great perspective of what kind of power that's doing and what this is and how those translate on the street together. I did a long time ago race a C7 Z06 2 times in a row, and he got a little bit of a gap on him. So I'm guessing that this is going to be something of a similar situation, but I don't want to jump ahead and take away his puncher's chance, you know what I'm saying? But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was a small review on the ZL1, which will be back on the channel very soon for many modifications, races, and all types of stuff, guys. So stay tuned for that. Please do subscribe to the channel, like this video, and we will see you in the next one.